VAR is a disgrace. VAR is an absolute disgrace. The officials are a disgrace. Everybody at the PGMOL are a disgrace. And they need to be called out, rightly so. Rob Jones is an absolute stinker this afternoon. An absolute stinker in the Chelsea Fulham game. As you can see, there's still a minute to go, but I want to start the match reaction a little bit earlier. While that game is still being played, we had to bring up some clips and photos for you. Please tell me how this is not a penalty. How is this not a penalty? As you can clearly see on the graphic, it hits João Pedro's hand. How much more obvious do you need? But no, when it happens to Fulham the other way around, where the ball hits him around here, no, referee's like, yeah, that is a pen. But no, when it hits João Pedro's hand like that, referee is like, nah, that's not a penalty. I just don't know how that's not a penalty. But that wasn't all. That didn't just happen in today's game. No. We've got many incidents to be bringing up to you. It's an absolute disgrace. How is this not a foul? From Caicedo. On Iwobi. How is that not a foul? Please tell me how that is not a foul. But no, when you give one the other end of the pitch, you disallow it. You disallow it. I'm gonna bring up how lucky Chelsea have been this season. That was a foul from Mark Gahey in game week 1. Should have stood. That was a clear foul, as you can see. That is another clear foul stamping on the foot. But no, clear and obvious, apparently not. A clear and obvious not. As you can see from the image, Muniz literally has no intention of stepping on Chalobah there. He literally receives the ball, twists, and he actually tries to stop him as much as he can to not stand on him. But no, the referee's like, yeah, it's so frustrating because genuinely there's been about 10 decisions so far this season with handballs and red cards. Yet in my team in the first game, the Bournemouth game, how was that not sending off? How was that not a foul? Ekitike was going to be clean through. But no, says the referee. This needs to be called out. I'm sorry. It needs to be called out because we shouldn't be 3 weeks into the Premier League season, the first game of the third week of the Premier League season, and there should be like 10 decisions where it's like, that is shocking. How can this be the best Premier League in the world? How can this be the best league in the world when we don't have the best officials and the best referees? Sorry, you can't be the best league in the world when you don't have the best officials and the best referees, when there's so much controversial. You can see how much Marcus Silva and the players were deflated from that. And you know what? The actual goal was brilliant, and it's just come in its full-time 2-0 from Chelsea, João Pedro and Enzo Fernandez with their goals. We'll speak about their goals in just a second, but just shocking. Like, come on. And Marcus Silva, you can tell how he's fuming because his side have been robbed today. His side have been utterly robbed. He probably should have got a point today because that goal from Josh King, what a goal, and what a youngster and a talent he's going to be for Fulham. He scores, and then obviously you also see, the build-ups to the other goals that should have not stood as well. Shocking. I just don't understand. Like, how are we still having these conversations? Like, how are these still conversations in the Premier League? We're 3 weeks into the season. 3. But let's get into the actual game. Chelsea were actually decent today. I thought they was okay. I mean, it was a pretty even game, to be honest, until it was kind of 2-0. To be honest, these was the lineups. What a talent this kid's going to be, this Josh King lad. Looks good every time he gets on the ball. He's actually dismissed Smith Rowe because obviously, he came on at 67 minutes. Obviously, big injury for Chelsea in Liam Delap. He got with a hamstring 14 minutes since you'd expect João Pedro to move further forward now, and they'll put someone up in that 10 role. Chalobah, you're lucky, mate. Absolutely lucky. Enzo Fernandez does get man of the match and also scores the penalty. But that's just another conversation as itself. For Fulham, I actually thought King Muniz was decent. Iwobi was good at times with the ball. Leno made some good saves. All in all. But João Pedro, what a signing he's been for Chelsea. Another goal for him in his Chelsea career. He's been very good since coming in the Premier League so far. 2 goals, 2 assists in 3 matches. You genuinely cannot play him. You can tell by his FootMob ratings since coming in against Palmeiras. He's been very good. He's been very, very good signing for them, and I question marks over it. But to be fair to him, he's done really well. I feel like Sander Berge is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. This guy's quality. I am surprised not many teams have actually tried to pick him up, even at his days at like Burnley and that. Do you know what I mean? Underrated player, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens next in the Premier League. I guarantee we're going to get more decisions that are going to happen. As for Fulham, in the league table, they are in 14th, yet to win their first Premier League game, 2 draws and a loss today. They have Leeds next. As for Chelsea, they have currently gone top. Obviously, the rest of the teams have still got to play. 7 points from them. Decent start again. Look, Crystal Palace, you could argue they should have lost that through the Eze goal. And then obviously slapping West Ham and beating Fulham today. So, you can't complain. They've got an easy game against next week against Brentford, you'd assume. So Chelsea's games coming up are Brentford, and then they've got Lincoln in the EFL Cup. Then obviously got their Champions League games. After that's where it's going to get really tough for Chelsea. So if they can win the next 2, get through in the Cup, beat Brentford, that's a very, very good start to the season under Maresca. Especially when there were still question marks about him. As for Fulham, in terms of their fixture lists, they have got Leeds and then Cambridge in the Cup. So I expect Fulham to be picking up some points because at times they actually played really well. So they played really well against Manchester United. You could argue they could have gone on to win that game as well. So they've been okay to watch this season. We've got a couple of more games on today at the time of the recording. So I'm going to go and watch those. I'm looking forward to them. But I feel like this doesn't do it justice. I thought in the first half, Fulham were actually really good. And again, when that goal went in, like I said, Fulham just came really depleted and just didn't really look at anything ever since. They had a little bit of a period here. But yeah, all in all, Fulham are missing that big striker in Mitrovic, who they used to once have. I just still can't get over these images, how these have not been given, especially that first one. I'm sorry, you don't give this, right? But you know, I just don't understand it. I really, just simply don't understand. How are we still having these decisions? So you don't give this, but you give this when that was not clear and obvious. That you can clearly tell it's clear and obvious. Caicedo is literally putting out his leg. As you can see from me, he actually looks like he actually tries to stop himself. But no consideration taken into account. Fulham rightly robbed today, and I can understand why Marcus Silva and the players are angry. But all in all, Chelsea do get the victory. It is what it is. But yeah, Chelsea do win by 2-0. People, make sure you smash on that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on that road to 3,000 subscribers. Fulham robbed. VAR. You are a disgrace.